Welcome back. This is Sealchan, and this is my Minecraft Alpha 1.0 progressive Longplay. Today we're going to head to the Cascadia port, and we're going to venture out on a coastal expedition. I'll just need to put some things away, ensure I have the proper supplies. So let's go. I'll return these to Builder's Workshop in the LC home base. Coastal expedition. What is that? Well, I will explain it. Here's my sand quarry. I'm gonna grab some sand because we want to make sure we have some as we head out. Coastal expedition is me starting at a build I call a port and traveling by boat and by land along the coastline, starting from that port. Currently, I have set to myself see if I even have a boat here. I've set for myself that I should travel out along the coastline one full day. And then return. I don't have any wood. I don't even think I have any saplings here. The purpose of traveling out along the coastline and coming back is twofold. One, it is to discover the world gen, is to explore. Because even in alpha I find the world generation wow, I didn't get, oh, I got one sapling. Alright, I'm gonna have to go and import some from the home base. The other purpose for the coastal expedition here's our tree farm. We have plenty of saplings. The other purpose is to look for and collect clay. In Minecraft Alpha, clay exists. It's relatively rare. But when you find it, you can sometimes find a significant deposit. Yeah, I'm gonna bring all this. Oh, what did I just do? Ah, interesting. That was some kind of a strange glitch. Fortunately, I built my home base right near spawn. Let's go see what we can make of this. What is that? It looks like... I wonder what kind of horrors await us in here. Somehow, it's as if my body got separated from my consciousness, I think. It's like I was looking at myself, stuck here in the wall, but I wasn't in the wall, so I couldn't break blocks to get out of it, and I was suffocating. Very interesting. Alright, well now we have to assess what it is we have. Right. Seem to be missing some things. Yeah. Wow. That was kind of catastrophic. We have lost some of our items. I have no sword. I lost my iron. Lost my dirt. It's never happened to me before. So I'm afraid our mission is delayed due to a need to resupply. Interesting. I don't know what I should be afraid to do. I got these things. Alright, well, let's see if I can make it to the hunting blind. Pick up some arrows. let's head to the mine. Oh, there's a creeper right over there. I think. I see a creeper. Was I imagining it? Alright, well, I was explaining the other reason to go on a coastal expedition is to gather clay. And I am out of iron. I was not prepared for this loss. And I have no arrows here. Alright. I'm gonna have to head back to Bellevue. And there we can probably get some iron by traveling down to our deep mine. Guess we can go this way. Oh, let me get the soil. The dirt. Missing my flint and steel. Let's not go this way. It is such a long ways that way. I'd rather risk the mobs at night. Go a shorter distance. There's a spider. There's a skeleton. I don't have a sword. Oh gosh. That's right. Try my axe. Okay. Sneak through here. If I can just make it into here, should be good. Oh, gonna have to get some more food. I sure hope that doesn't happen again. It had something to do with how I clicked on that crafting table. Wow, no arrows here either. I guess I have been using up my arrows. I may actually have to craft some. For that purpose, I should grab some feathers. Hopefully the deep mine will get us what we need. Whoa, it's gonna be interesting. Here we go. Come and get me. Oop. Creeper. Okay. Alright, here we go. very glad I built this mine shaft. Alright, here we are in the deep mining complex. Thankfully we have some iron. We even have more. Got a bucket. No arrows. I'm hoping that arrows are crafted with flint. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Probably not doing this right. Ah, excellent. Alright, gives me 4. I'm so glad that I have the version that works this way. That'll do. Alright, I got these things. Let's replace our lost tools. To get some food. And not going to worry about the flint and steel. I can just make that when we need it. Okay, so I have sand, some wood. I guess I lost my boat. Let's make up for that. Yeah, I'll just get some food. And then we'll head out. Hopefully we haven't lost an entire day, but that may be the case. In this particular expedition, we have journeyed out from Cascadia port. No, it's day again. That's fine. I think by the time we get there and get ready, it'll be time to leave. Anyway, we've gone out a day's journey from Cascadia Port. So this time we're going to go out another day's journey. So I'll be taking my boat out to the point we had reached previously. And then from there I'll walk along the coastline. Now, originally I'd hoped that I could just use a boat. But as we just saw, Minecraft Alpha is a little glitchy. One of those glitches I had found was that when you're traveling by boat to places you have never been, and your loading new chunks. Yeah, I lost all my armor. I won't get distracted anymore. Anyway, when you're traveling by boat in Minecraft Alpha to new chunks, sorry, I'm gonna get the wood here. Alright, this is enough wood. There's a glitch that tends to want to separate you from your boat. And it's kind of like what we saw at the beginning of this episode. I think I was in one place, my body was somewhere else. You could see the shoulders of my armor. Seemed like it was stuck in a wall. And, yeah, from there it's not good. Somehow we recovered without having to exit the game. Oh, well, we died. That's how we recovered. But when you can't connect to your boat, you can't move, you're just stuck. So, to avoid that, I walk along the coastline when exploring new territory. So we have to walk outbound to discover new coastline. And we can take a boat back. So I get back more quickly. Actually, I walk until the sun sets. Put down a marker to show how far I got. And then I come back to the port, which is relatively safe at night. So what we want to do is get out to our starting point, ideally right before dawn. However, you can travel by boat much more quickly than you can walk, so unfortunately that starting point isn't very far away, and night's just about to start, so we are presented with the question of what are we going to do? Here's Cascadia Port. I suppose we've got a couple options. I could wait here in relative safety through the night. Here's our clay quarry. Yeah, looks like we actually had some sand. What we'll want to bring is just one stack. This is enough for 2 boats. I think we're good. Well, you know, why don't we head out? We're gonna sit through a night Might as well sit through it somewhere different. Only problem is it'll be dark. But I am tempted to talk about something. So I should probably look for that beach. I found a beach, I think, out this way. It was exceptionally interesting, but yeah, I don't know. It could be here. Let's head up the beach. I have to find that. Or head up the coastline. I'll have to find that beach again sometime. That's interesting. Why does that look lit up? I guess it's not. Oh, and I bet you can't see a thing. Maybe this wasn't a great idea. But at this point, let's just keep going. Pick my way through here till I find that. Oop, there's a skeleton. I don't need to be shot. There's a spider, I think. Yeah, he's gonna head me off. I want to go down that way. Let's see if I can just outrun him. Yeah, I see my torch. Okay, good. I can get past him. Looks like it's closing in over there, so maybe let's park it here for tonight. Provide a little lighting. I think I'll go ahead and share something. I've been thinking about this series. Where's that moon? Oh, there it is. And as I've played the game and done some research, I've become aware of something called a monolith. Apparently, Mojang has never created an official name for this, as it's a terrain generation glitch. But it intrigues me, and I have seen other YouTubers talk about it. There are no doubt these monoliths in this world, and I feel a growing inspiration that as part of this series, we should find one. What they are is a glitch in world generation that was corrected, I believe, in Alpha 1.1.2, There's really only 3 versions of alpha. Anyway, you can look it up in the wiki. So this will be my last chance to go and find one. They basically look like a giant mesa. The blocks go all the way up to the world height, which is only 127 blocks high, or 60 some blocks above the ocean here. And they have a kind of beauty and a uniqueness. But we don't have the nether to explore. We don't have a stronghold to discover. I feel like I should really go and try to find at least one monolith in this world. So I'm probably going to do that. Now, to find that monolith, I have 2 choices. One, I could determine what is the seed of this world and use that in a program that's out there that will show you the world gen, and then it'll show you where the monoliths are. That way we can make the journey more or less in a direct way. The other option is to find it manually, which means we'll have to search on our own until we find it. The rarity of these things is such that that is no easy task. Oops. Well, we are getting close to daylight. I can just make out a creeper. I should get back in my boat. And get ready. I looked at a random seed that was in this program online. It tells you the map of all the oceans and land, and then it shows you where the monoliths are. And there was maybe one monolith in a 10,000 by 10,000 block area. So to go find one could be a very time-intensive thing. Anyway, let me talk about this again. We have reached the place we got to at the end of our last coastal expedition. So I'm going to park this boat. I think I might just break it. Otherwise it's just going to be an extra boat. Well, you know what? may not. I won't get into why right now. Okay, so let's start walking. I can see neighboring land, another continent. Seeing relatively low hills here. We're looking for sand. And in that sand, occasionally, clay deposits. We'll just keep going till sunset. Clay is a little difficult to spot. Not too difficult. It's just that it's so very rare. I think even by the next version of Alpha, clay generation was increased in frequency quite a bit. It's like a sand bridge over to the other continent. Or right there. And right in there is probably clay. Could be stone. But that's out of bounds for me. I'll stick to this coastline over here. We're not desperate for clay. But why not combine the treasure hunt with this journey to look at this new terrain? I kind of feel like Minecraft Alpha has got the beaches right. In the release versions of Minecraft, it always kind of bugs me when the sand goes up more than 2 blocks from the water line. So I tend to consider that sand as something I can collect. There's a lot of sand here. I don't see any clay. Clay can be above water or below. I noticed this iron ore. I feel like I'm desperate enough I need to grab it. I've heard that iron ore is, or rather iron is less, iron tools, sorry, are less durable in alpha. So I've been suffering, I think, somewhat from that. I've come to the belief that when you are strip mining, you don't come out ahead if you use iron pickaxe. I haven't measured that precisely, but it is my impression. may possibly revert to stone tools. At least for interesting bay. At least for when I do strip mining. This reminds me of that other beach I found, but the other one is a little more, I don't know, it just struck me as natural beauty. This one's cool. This is a great interior harbor. Oh wow, look at all this. This is a beach I could get lost in. Ooh, it goes way back. Yeah, no, just not a drop of clay. It just shows up when you least expect it. It's possible we may not find any. Alright, well, that was a cool beach. I just don't think you see beaches like that in the later release versions. Well, we've had quite the abundance of sandy beaches. But as you can see, you do not always get sandy beach. In which case, you start walking much faster, covering more ground. Now, this is a sign we're in a newly loaded chunk. Aha! I think we may have found something. Yes, trees in newly loaded chunks seem to have saplings beneath them. I noticed that early on. Alright, well, we got something. One thing I've learned to do, because I want to preserve the coastline, is that if I take a clay block, I want to replace it with the sand. There's really no point to doing this other than my sense of conservation. Alright. Let's keep going. Got some daylight left, I imagine. Oh, there it is. Not much. This coastline is very convoluted. I'm not sure which way we came from. Yeah, I think we may have come from there. What's this? Oh, more clay. Alright, let's do... I'm going to harvest this clay, and then obviously I think we're done. Let's put some torches out. So at least you have some light. This looks to be a truly massive deposit. Far bigger than even the last one I had on my previous expedition. I think I got 4 stacks out of that one. Oops. Broke my shovel, that's for sure. That's it. Well, it's not as much as the other one was. Yeah, looks like I have enough sand to fill it in. Perfect. Well, I need to build a bit of a light post here. And then we just have the challenge of getting back. Need to build a new boat. So one thing you learn about alpha is that you need to learn to make use of the night. It doesn't record well, unfortunately. But our coastal expeditions are perhaps some of our biggest adventure moments. Okay. The land twists and turns, and I am unfamiliar with it. I don't want to miss my turn. The only way I know how to get home is to follow the coastline back. I don't remember seeing this. There's a gap here. Could very well be that I just didn't notice it as I was looking for clay. Maybe we better just be double sure that's the coastline I'm looking for. So let's follow this a little more closely. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to if I'm going north or south or east or west as I walk. It's like when I walked on the shore looking for agates and seashells at the beach. Those coastlines are pretty straight. But I wouldn't look up for a long time. Except at the ocean. So you do not want to turn your back on the ocean. I think I remember this. Got some iron ore out of it. Yeah, this is pretty much a circular bay here. Ooh. Oh, there's a spider there. Was this where we just were? It may have been. But now, it's a bit of a problem. There's no way we're going to get through there, and we're going to have to leave this boat. Well, let's see if I can park this boat over here. We'll just have to walk around. No, those mobs are too close. Well, let's do this. To try parking it over here. It's not ideal. I don't even know if you can see this, but there's a small gap there that I think I just didn't notice before. Oh, sun's already about to come up. And I'm sure that we would have followed the coastline this way. Let's see if I can get in a little closer. I mean, I could dig that out. Let's try. Okay. Otherwise, I'll have to make two boats. Yeah, let's go ahead. A little bit of an impromptu engineering project. It's something I would normally want to do. It's definitely disturbing the land. But I can make an exception sometimes. At least now you get to see. Yeah, so I feel fairly confident that I probably just walked along here and didn't notice this, how close it was. So let's keep moving. Keep the beach on our left. Because these are all now loaded chunks, I shouldn't have to worry about my boat. Oh good, we found our previous stopping point, which means we're on the right path, and our old boat, which we'll leave there. I do love sailing the seas in Minecraft. Here, I think we can just head straight. Yes. So that conveniently, that mouth of the ocean, the sea, is nearly perfectly lined up here. Now we're home, and the mountains of Divide begin to appear. Got lucky with the boat. Alright, here we go. We have a fine amount of clay here. You even got some bonus iron. I think I may have forgot to replant somewhere. Okay, I think we're good. That was one coastal expedition, but there'll be more to come. In fact, I have thought about searching for the Monolith, and a coastal expedition might be the way in which I do that search. And I'm still trying to decide whether I should do it manually or cheat a little and just figure out where one is. If I cheat, it'll probably be a series end thing. If I search manually, I'm going to want to build it into the process. So anyway, if you're one of my regular viewers, or even if you're not, let me know. The manual process could be many episodes, and it'll probably turn into a kind of a Farlands style journey where I just keep moving in a direction. In fact, let me do something here. I just realized that we have an F3 menu without being able to click F3. If I bring it down into the ocean, you can read it. I installed a mod that adds the coordinates that you can see on the left. I could use those coordinates to track if I were to make a long-term one-way journey. Well, it could be two-way, but it'd be a one-way journey for a long time. And I could systematically search out a grid that way. So, anyway, just some thoughts. We are drawing near to the end of the series, although will it be less than 100 episodes? Hard to say. If we want to go search for that monolith. Maybe that'll come at the end of the series anyway. Who knows how many episodes that would take. But eventually we would find a monolith. Would it be worth the effort? Hard to say. We could get lucky early on, or we could just be really unlucky. Maybe we could try for a little while, and then give up and cheat. That might be the best way to go. Maybe we could set a goal. If we can't find a monolith within a certain area, I'll just go ahead and get the seed, look it up, and do it that way. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Anyway, I need a pick. Click. Maybe one without that glitchy water. Yeah, I'll keep the glitchy water. Why not? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And I hope to see you in the next. Take care.